day that all Christians are going to church and we're celebrating the resurrection. And regular dictionary says resurrection is the rising again as from decay, disuse, the revival of something. Of course, Unity says that resurrection is the rising of the mind and the body into Christ consciousness, rising up in consciousness. I usually end with a story. I'll probably end with a story too, but I also want to begin with a story today. And the story that I'm going to begin with is out of All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. So, which sometimes is true. And it's called Puddles. It's May in Central Park in New York City. An afternoon shower followed by seductive spring sunshine lures busy people off sidewalks and onto park benches. At 80th Street and Fifth Avenue, there's a path into the park on which the rain has left an obstacle course of puddles. A small child, kitted out in full rain gear, runs splashing through a puddle. Ah! His mother, likewise rain-proofed, runs after him shouting, "No, no, no!" Catching his hand, she pulls him back onto dry land and barks sternly, "No puddles, Jacob, I told you, no puddles." The child strains outward and away from her like a guy wire from a tent in a windstorm. He whines. The mother pulls him further down the path. The child upswifts into a whale. The mother tries to pick him up. The child goes limp and screams. It's a standoff. A child in the checkout line at the supermarket deal. And this kid is a black belt screamer. Whoa! The mother is embarrassed. People are staring. What did she do to him? A well-dressed, middle-aged man observes by a nearby bench. He's wearing polished black leather wingtip shoes. Between him and the mother and the child, is a large puddle. The man stands, walks deliberately into the puddle. Wingtips and all. Grins, shouts, "Hey, hey, hey!" Mother and child look up. The kid goes silent, stands still. This scene is too good to be true. How can I stay out of this one? I get up off my bench and walk into the puddle and stand beside the grinning man. I'm wearing serious leather sandals and socks. I grin at the man and the mom and the kid. A fashionably dressed young woman takes off her shoes and joins us, as does her dog. The kid laughs, lets go of the mom's hand, and marches into the puddle. All eyes are on the mom. Now, at center stage, the mom wears an expression of pained pleasure. She's caught again in the parenthood paradox. On the one hand, the child must learn to mind. But then, what harm can a puddle do if the kid's wearing rain boots? She doesn't want him to get sick, but of course everybody knows you catch colds from germs, not other hands, and other people's hands, not from puddles. It's hard to back down when you said no, but it's not wrong to change your mind. She doesn't want her child to follow the example of strangers, but all these three people have done is to stand in the puddle and grin at her. How can so much be at stake over a small event? What's a good mother to do? Being a parent always involves some hypocrisy. If she were a kid, she'd be in the puddle now. She walked in puddles when she was a child and came to no harm. Her mom probably shouted "no puddles" at her, too. Does parenthood always mean being driven by the autopilot of the past? All this races through the mom's mind in a nanosecond. The waiters and watchers are waiting. She can't stand there forever. The mom smiles, laughs, walks into the puddle. Her audience applauds. The waiters shake her hand, shake each other's hands, and go on their way. The child is pleased, but stupefied look on his face. Adults are weird. He will never understand until he is as weird as one is. So, you may ask, did this really happen? Well, yes and no. The day and the park and the puddle were real. The small cast assembled in this little arena were there. And the inclinations we all had were right and true. But, in fact, the mother pulled the kid off down the path, still barking "no puddles" at him, and leaving the rest of us grumpily minding our own business. Still, it might have happened. It should have happened. Puddles are there as a test about staying young as long as you can. All the adults there that day failed the test. How I hate walking away thinking, as I have so many times in my life, that next time, or when I have time, or when circumstances are just right, I will do what my heart says to do. Sometimes acting foolish and being wise at the same is being wise at the same time. Later that afternoon, I went back to do what I knew I should have done. Too late, too late. Mother and child and nice people and puddle, an opportunity had gone. I thought that was an awesome story when I heard it. You know, at first I thought I could kind of picture this, all the people in the puddle. You know, and then, well, it really wasn't true, but it should have been true. And I thought about that. You know, the whole scenario is true. What is really resurrection? And I love, you know, it's coming back to life. It's coming back to life. And, you know, I remember the movie The Sixth Sense, when I think about that little kid saying, I see dead people. They're walking around all the time and they don't even know they're dead. Isn't that true? How many of us really are walking around during the day and we're dead and we don't even know we're dead? Because we're not living. We're not living life. We're not enjoying life. We're caught in this, and I love, you know, the Daily Word and what Charles Fillmore wrote. We're caught into all the hassles of life, and we're not truly living. You know, lighten up. When you talk about somebody that's all serious and everything, what do you say that they have to do?
Lighten up.
Lighten up. Lighten up. What do we say when we're spiritually uplifted? We're enlightened. Yeah. Can you see a little the sameness there? You know, how they correlate? Lighten up. Let go of those burdens. And think about it. When the definition of light is to cause to brighten, to make lighter, to lessen the load, to lighten up, lessen the load. Isn't that what Jesus said he was teaching us what to do? To lighten the load, to become lighter. So what happens when we drop all those things that we carry on from life, all the stress, all the burdens, all the financial things, all these things we should do, all those things we need to do, what happens? We feel lighter. We feel lighter. And isn't that what we're supposed to do? Charles Fillmore says, you know, we should be like little children. Why not? We wish that we could get rid of those things. Why not? It's hard to believe sometimes that it's a choice that we're carrying now around. You know, of course we say, you know, it's not my choice that I'm in this situation. It's not my choice that economy is the way it is. It's not my choice that my finances are all messed up. That's not my choice. It's not my choice that I lost my job, whatever. Whatever isn't my choice. However, think about what Charles Fillmore wrote. They play about children. They have not yet been taught how to take life in the serious, solemn manner of an average adult. They hop, and they skip, and they sing, and their daily needs are met. Wow. If you put that together, their daily needs are met because they hop, and they sing, and they skip, and they love life. I remember, I think it was Marianne Williamson, told this story about a mother and a baby. The mother just the parents brought the baby home, and they had a 3-year-old daughter. And the 3-year-old daughter kept asking to be with the baby alone in the room. And they were afraid to let this 3-year-old daughter be alone with the baby. But they thought, well, they have a monitor in the room, and, you know, what could have hurt? So they left the little 3-year-old girl alone in the room with the baby. And when they closed the door, they heard on the monitor, the little girl went up to the baby and said, please tell me about God. I'm starting to forget. I thought, how profound. You know, I was listening to a CD of Fred Alan Wolf, which he's a little crazy. I love to hear him speak, but he's a little crazy. But he talks about when we come to here as a spiritual, as a human being, our spiritual being living this human existence. We come as a spiritual being into this body, and you know, at first we're trying to connect to our humanness. You know, we're learning that the spirit is now in a confined situation, a confined body. And once we learn that, though, we take that on and we believe that we forget our spirituality. And that's the thing, is we're born as a spiritual being, and then we grow up to bring all this seriousness of life onto us. We think we have to learn these lessons, and suffering, we suffer, so we kind of put that on, that we're supposed to suffer, which that's not true, but we put that on ourselves. And then, we suffer through life when really, what we really want to do is get back to what we were and what we have trained not to be. So it's kind of a paradox, we want to go back to what we already were, but what we have forgotten. And that's the thing is, when we come to learn spiritual lessons or whatever, you're not learning anything, we're remembering. Because we know everything already. We're spiritual beings, we know all this already. It's just we have to be reminded. But how much life, how much living have we really missed by being caught up in all the things that we should do, things that we shouldn't do. When was the last time we walked through puddles and we had fun? I have, my kids are now 28, 25, and 23, and I still have an Easter egg hunt for them. And I said this at work, that I make them hunt eggs, and then they hunt their baskets, and they said, "Oh my God, you seriously need some grandchildren." I said, I wouldn't do anything differently once I have grandchildren now. I already figured it out. I'll have 2 egg hunts. It'll be one for my kids and one for the grandchildren, because they need to stay kids. And that's, one of the things too is for kids to see parents be kids. For kids to see parents live life. For kids to see parents have fun. And not always, no, you can't do that. How joyous is it to see your parents laugh and have fun and really live life.
On the back of the Abraham's bus, it says, life is supposed to be fun.
Life is supposed to be fun. We are, and she also says, we are joy-seeking beings. Which we are. We're joy-seeking beings. But the thing is, we don't have to seek. We already have it. All we have to do is let go of what we were carrying around. And we think that's so hard, but just take a day, go into nature, do whatever, let yourself be a kid, let yourself do some of these things, like he said, we all have those days that we wish we could do some of that stuff, but we don't. How about let's just take a day and do that? That's what, Easter, the resurrection, is coming to life again. It's learning to truly live, enjoy life.
Neil Donald says our soul knows everything. And Bashar says, well, we chose to forget what came into this life so we don't miss the element of surprise.
Oh, good one.
Otherwise, if you know everything, you'll be no surprise.
That's right, so we have those aha moments.
Right.
So we can experience those aha moments. Exactly, exactly.
But the aha moments, there's a word, epaneo, E-P-A-N-E-O, I think it is, and that means coming back to what it is you already know. So epaneo is, it's like, but it's been there all along, but you're just discovering it.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. It's like, remember, you remember, aha, yes, I knew that. Yeah. I like this. This is another little thing. It's big mud puddles and sunny yellow dandelions. When I look at a patch of dandelions, I see a bunch of weeds that are going to take over my yard. My kids see flowers for mom and blue and white fluff that you can wish on. When I look at an old drunk and he smiles at me, I see a smelly, dirty person who probably wants money, and I look away. My kids see someone smiling at them, and they smile back. When I hear music I love, I know I can't carry a tune and don't have much rhythm, so I sit self-consciously and listen. My kids feel the beat and move on it. They sing out the words. If they don't know them, they make up their own. When I feel wind on my face, I brace myself against it. I feel it messing up my hair, pulling me back when I walk. My kids close their eyes, spread their arms, and fly with it, until they fall to the ground laughing. When I pray, I say thee and thou, and grant me this and give me that. My kids say, hi God, thanks for my toys and my friends. Please keep the bad dreams away tonight. Sorry I don't want to go to heaven yet. I would miss my mommy and daddy. When I see mud puddles, I step around them. I see muddy shoes and dirty carpets. My kids sit in it. They see dams to build, rivers to cross, and worms to play with. I wonder if we were given kids to teach or to learn from. No wonder God loves the little children. Enjoy the little things in life, for one day you may look back and realize that they were the big things. I wish you big mud puddles and sunny yellow dandelions. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Just to look through a child's eye. And that's what Jesus says we have to do to actually enter the kingdom of heaven, right? Become as little children. To let go of I know the right way, I know this. To let go of our preconceived ideas, to become like a sponge and learn. Just learn on a daily basis, instead of already knowing. Enjoy life as a little kid. Go out there and experience instead of being all caught up with what we should do and how bad things are and how we're going to get through this. Just enjoy. Because once we do that, guess what? We become joy-filled. And as we become joy-filled, we put that out, and what happens? It comes back. It comes back. The way if we want to get joyful, if we want to get out of our muck, we need to consciously first make that effort and look to see the joy and experience the joy. And once we do that, we'll find much, much more joy around us. I know when I started my spiritual, that's awesome to have a name, Joy. But I know when I started my spiritual journey and I was told to keep a gratitude list, and it was like I was in such a funk. It was like, I don't have much to be grateful for right now. But the more I was grateful for, the more I could see that I was grateful for. The more that we're joyous about and to see joy and experience joy, the more of that we'll see in our life. And that's what we're here to do, is enjoy, to experience life, to come alive again. We've learned now to be serious. I think it was C.E. Lewis wrote, joy is serious business joy is the serious business of heaven. I like that. Joy is the serious business of heaven. And does anybody have any idea how many times the word joy is in the Bible? 216 times. More than sin. Yes. The word joy occurs 216 times in the King James Bible. And it appears in almost every book. And, what did Jesus say? I've come here so that my joy can be in you and that your joy be complete. Easter is a time of celebration, a time of joy, a time to celebrate life, to become alive. Not so that, somebody looks at us and says, I see dead people. They don't even know they're dead. They keep walking around. Once we take life so seriously that we can't enjoy these things, we have died. We have died. And
Jesus said, I think somebody wanted to go bury his father. And he said, let the dead bury their dead.
Exactly. Yeah, let the dead bury their dead. Yeah. A happy heart makes a cheerful face, but heartache crushes the spirit. A cheerful heart is good medicine. You will go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills will burst into song for you, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. Think about that. All we need to do is express our joy. So with you, now is your time of grief, but I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, because great is your reward in heaven, and we know that heaven is here. For that is how your fathers treated the prophets. And also, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. If we say that every morning, how different might our life be as we continue? Now think about kids. How many times do kids laugh a day?
All the time.
About 400. 400 times a day. And they go like Aaron, and they get the kids spontaneously. All I have to boo, or make a face, and they laugh. And why is that? You know what? First of all, how many times do adults laugh?
About 6 or 7.
Well, they say, and I think this is really kind of the study said that they laugh about 12 times a day, which I think that's pretty gracious, because I know adults, some adults don't laugh at all on a day. But the thing is, and let me find this, it's the body-mind connection. And actually, kids laugh more because they miss that mind connection. They go right from to their body. They laugh from their body. So what does that mean? Their inner spirit is laughing, and they allow themselves to laugh. What do? We filter it. Should I laugh? First of all, yeah, we feel it, and then we tell our kids, that's not funny, you shouldn't be laughing. But the thing is, it's letting our inner spirit bubble, and that's what Charles Fillmore says about, they laugh and they let their inner spirit bubble out. And we don't. We have to filter all that stuff. Oh, here, okay. Why do children laugh more? It's because, or adults don't laugh because adults use their brain to first comprehend humor and then laugh. They use their brain to comprehend, and it goes through all those filters. First of all, what kind of mood am I in? Sometimes if you're in a bad mood, you're not going to laugh or smile at all or see the joy. Then, is it funny? Did I hear it before? All of this stuff. Kids, their laughter comes straight from the body and does not make use of their intellectual capacity of the brain. This clearly indicates that the source of laughter is within the body. It's within. So that's why kids laugh so much, is that inner being bubbles out.
And sometimes we worry about how we laugh. Is our laugh appropriate? Are people going to think this is a terrible laugh? Should I have laughed at this at that particular time? But particularly, it's almost like we have to practice our laugh,
Yeah,
For
right.
women, we go, this is not a ladylike laugh, and don't give a great big laugh. I was watching one of the late night shows, and there's this really beautiful actress on, and when she laughed like a pig. She snorted like a pig, and she didn't apologize for it, and I thought, this is really great. This is just really great.
And it is, and that's the joy of being. It's just laugh, no matter what anybody thinks. Enjoy the joy of being. People wonder what you're up to, so that's kind of cool too. Keep them thinking while you're laughing. But that's what resurrection is all about. It's about raising consciousness, but raising consciousness is raising up in joy. Raising up in the joys of the Spirit, the fruits of the Spirit, joy, love, kindness, becoming a child again, getting rid of all those worries, all those things that we carry around, and then realize that we carried those around all those years, and we didn't really need to. All they did was make us suffer. We can put all those things, hang those on the cross, let them be done, and enjoy life. Come back to life again. One more thing I want to finish with is James Dillard Freeman wrote these words. Do not ask a child to tell you what is a miracle. You may turn and ask you, what in the world you would think is not. Wow. Children see miracles every day in life. It's time for us to see through the eyes of a child and start living. So I encourage everybody today, go out, have an Easter egg hunt.
We had an Easter bone hunt yesterday out in Kansas.
Oh, cool. Cool, have an Easter Easter bone hunt with your pets. Enjoy life. Really go out through the eyes of a child and see how that lightens your burden. We'll lighten up, we'll resurrect, we'll come back to life, and we'll see, what Jesus truly taught is He has come to make our joy full. And once we express that, think about the change of the people around us, the change in our environment. We are joy-filled beings, we're joy-seeking beings, we're joy-filled beings, but we have to do our work. And that work is letting go of all the things that we're carrying around. We have to consciously let go. And as Charles Fillmore wrote, We all look back on the joys and the freedom of our childhood and wish that they might have lasted. And he asked a good question. And why not? Why not? Why aren't they? We have that choice. We're going out with that choice to bring those all back and experience life through joy. So this Easter, I encourage everybody to realize that it's the renewal of life. And life is for living, it's for enjoying. It's not for carrying around a lot of baggage. So, I like to take these